Hey, what's up? Louis here. So today we're talking about Dune Part 2. And I have to say that I'm really glad that I watched this movie on IMAX because it's amazing, it's stunning, has amazing visuals. But at the same time, I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed. Starting to talk about Dune Part 2, I have to say that I haven't read the books, but I was a really huge fan of the first movie. I really loved it. Even people who were saying to me that was boring, it was like very slow paced. Even my girlfriend, she fell asleep in watching Dune Part One, but I really love it. I loved it so much that my favorite movie is the Gladiator from Ridley Scott, and this year is coming Gladiator 2, and Dune Part 2 was my most anticipated movie of this year. So much that I was really pissed that they moved to February. I played the Dune Imperium Uprising and the Rise of X and all the board games that I played it weekly with my friends, and I really love that game. It's really cool. If you like board games, I totally recommend it. But yeah, so I was so hyped for this movie, and maybe I was a little bit hyped too much because in some parts I was not really disappointed. Like, it's like I have to say, this movie is really amazing. It's so stunning. And at first, I'll tell you the things that I really like because it's so many, and the title of this description made me look sad. I didn't love the movie. I really loved it. I just don't think it's gonna be on my top five movies of all time. And before going to the cinema, I really thought that it would be. Let's start about the visuals. Okay, the visuals in this movie are so stunning, so amazing. The way that they make you feel that you are in the sand, that you are in a completely different world. It's so good. It's so cool, and that really helps because of the sound. I was seeing it on IMAX, and I have to say the sound was so good that it was sometimes when the sand moved and when the sand worm was coming, I really felt my chair vibrating and all the power and the sound, like the sound design. It's definitely one of the top best sound designs there is gonna be on this year, and I have to say that I really loved it. I really felt like the sound was on other world. It's not if I don't didn't if I was disappointed, it's not on the sound because the score is amazing. The music is so tuned for this type of movie. It's really felt like you're in a really cool sci-fi movie, and they've really did a good job and make you believe that you were on another planet, harvesting spice. You're fighting in a war, and there's this very complicated stuffs about destiny, plotting, war, loss, starvation. There's so many themes, betrayal. There's so many things in this movie, and that's one of the things that maybe it fell a little bit short because it's trying to do so many things at once. It's not that the pacing is bad, but I felt like the pacing really hurt a little bit because there was a lot of parts that were building up, important parts nonetheless, but there's so many important parts, and there are so many things that the story would drag on and give you so much detail and so much things, and really love that. But when it comes to the really finale, the ending of the movie, the war, and how everything ends, and how everyone feels about it, and how the fights are done, that made me very short. Like I was like it was really short lived. Some of the dramatic fights, some of the fights that you really wanna like see, like ended in like 5-10 seconds, and that disappointed me. And without spoilers, there's a lot of fight scenes that are doing like off screen, and you don't see nothing. And when you see it again, yeah, the characters are already killed, and that for me was it was very impressive. And the war, how the both sides are fighting. It was cool, the visual effects of the so many people fighting, but it was so short. Like I wanted to see more. I wanted to see different enemies, the different designs, different battle things, and I think like they could do it. It was just like I wouldn't mind. The movie is 2 hours and 45, but I wouldn't mind more half an hour. But if it was like a really epic battle, a really more fleshed out part in the ending, without spoiling it, in the ending, I really wanted a little bit more. But I have to say that the fights for me, I want a little bit more. I wanted a little bit more on the sandworms, and there's some things that they explain. There's some things that they don't explain, like how they land after riding the sandworms. About the relationship with Paul and the Fremen, how he does the things that he does. It's hard to sometimes to talk without spoilers. So yeah, I want a bit more about everything that happens in this movie because it's so good. And that's not that's it looks I'm critiquing, but I'm not critiquing. I just wanted more. I just wanted more of this because it is amazing, and I really felt like there's so much details in some things, and there's some things that they don't have another detail. And I have to say they changed a little bit for what I've heard and what I've saw in the first Dune. That was 40 years ago. They changed some things for the better, for some things for the worst. But I really love this movie, and I feel like the actors did the best job possible. Like the casting is so top notch. The way that these characters act, like come on, like Paul, Timothy, like Javier Bardem, Rebecca Ferguson, Zendaya. There's so many, Josh Brolin, like everyone in this movie like is so good. Austin Butler as Foyt is so good. The Baron, it is the characters in the world is so good that you really wanted to see. There's some characters, I'm not going to say which, but some characters that they appeared so much in the first movie, but in the second, not that much. And it pains because I wanted more about them. I wanted more get to know more about them. I wanted them for not to be so one dimensional. And there's things that happen that makes you feel like, is it done yet? Okay, it's just that I'm never going to see this character again. But I didn't understand exactly what were their purpose, their motivations. Yeah, so I feel like in some ways the movie gives you a lot of detail, a lot of character development, especially in Poland and Paul and Johnny's relationship, and also in the Reverend Mother, and all the things that happened with the Fremen religion. They explore that very well. But the war part and the things that happen with the other houses, they don't talk too much. There's not a single mentat in this movie for what I've remembered. And I wanted a little bit more about Dune World, and especially I wanted them to end on this one. I felt like the decision to do a trilogy really hurt the ending of this movie. Not gonna spoil. Maybe I'm gonna do a spoiler later. I really felt like that happened, and there's some decisions are more teasing part three than doing a very good service to part one, to part two. So yeah, that's my opinion. Very short one because it's hard to talk about without spoilers, but this definitely is going to be one of the best movies of the year. Even if you think that I'm bashing the movie, I'm not bashing that. This movie is amazing. It's damn amazing. The visuals, the sound, the wardrobe is so cool. The wardrobe, the way they are doing the vehicles, all the lore and all the things that they did for this movie are so cool. But it's hard. It's hard, and and I felt like they had like 5 hours for an event that's like only 20 minutes, and that fell short for me. For me, that fell short. But if this was a movie, this would be like a 90%. Like a percentage review will be like 90%. So it's definitely not bad. It's just my expectations were really, really high. I love the first one. I love playing the board games. I love the lore. I love the characters. I wanted to see a little bit more. I know that they are not going to do a bigger version, but I felt like a bigger version it would be better for me. And to be honest, I think I'm going to appreciate more this movie when I spend an afternoon just watching the whole two movies together, because they kind of go, you can do it like you can watch it like just one movie. So I loved it. I just wanted that I wanted a little bit more on some parts. And yeah, that's it. If you want to support the channel, just give me a like, just subscribe and share with your friends. It would be really, 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 really good for me, because I really love doing this, and YouTube is hard in the beginning. And give me your feedback, like what do you want me to talk about, what movies do you want me to talk, and we can do this whole journey about movies and games together. See you in the next one. Peace.